I can start. I can start. I can start.
Yeah.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you all for coming. Inshallah, I'm going to start with a short dua. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث أصلح لي شأني كله ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين اللهم آتي نفسي تقواها وزكيها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها اللهم صل وسلم على محمد في الأولين وفي الآخرين وفي كل وقت وحين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Okay. So inshallah we will continue reading. I'm sorry I was not here last time. But we will continue reading the 11th word. And I have the notes where you guys can see the reading and my notes. So to recap what we're talking about, this word is concerned with discussing the aims of life in direct relation to our potential as a created being. In other words, the question that's being asked here, how can I not waste my time, senses, feelings, body, and thoughts? We can all experience these things, but how can I make them reach their potential? And how can I not let them go to waste? So we're studying, from today, we're starting with the 7th aim. And I'll go ahead and start reading. As usual, if you have any reflections, any questions, please let me know. The more we discuss this, the better we all learn. So I'd be happy to hear from you. So the 7th, through taking as units of measurement the small samples of attributes like the partial knowledge, power, and will given to your life, it is to know through those measures the absolute attributes and sacred qualities of the all-glorious Creator. Okay, so taking as units of measurement the small samples of attributes like the partial knowledge, power, and will, it is to know through those measures the absolute attributes and sacred qualities of the all-glorious Creator. So here is a connection between the partial and the absolute. For example, since through your partial power, knowledge, and will, you have made your house in well-ordered fashion, you should know that the maker of the palace of the world is its dispossessor and powerful, knowing and wise, to the degree it is greater than your house. Okay, so the author is saying, well, through your partial power and knowledge and will, you were able to design your house in your own way, in a very well-ordered fashion. This action you just did, that required power and knowledge and will, reflects the maker of the palace of the world. As the maker of the palace of the world is its dispossessor, and powerful and knowing and wise, to a degree that it's greater than your own house. So I feel like that the question this paragraph is really asking, what is this partial knowledge and power and will pointing to? So you can always feel that you're good at something, let's say math, and then you come at a point and feel like, wait, I can't understand everything about math, because you realize that you don't have the absolute knowledge of math, yet you have some understanding of it. So now, what attitude will I have towards this given partial or limited knowledge? So the author is suggesting, embrace this, that you can have partial knowledge and partial will, and take it to know the creator's qualities, to understand that the partial points to the absolute, that the absolute must be the owner of all this, of the partial, of all partials. That's a word you can say. Yeah. So don't, like, it's as if like when you see or observe your own partial knowledge, at some point you can either ask yourself, well, why can't I know more? Or you can either take it the other way, well, what is this partial knowledge pointing to? And understand that it's reflecting an absolute quality. Anyone else wants to jump in? Any questions? Does it make sense that partial can actually point to the absolute? I know it's been discussed in the 10th word before, but if any questions or reflections are coming up. Okay. So we can move on to the 8th. So the 8th is quite brief, but it is concise. It says, to understand the words concerning the Creator's unity and Maker's dominicality uttered by each of the beings in the world in its particular tongue. Okay, I'm going to repeat the sentence. To understand the words concerning the Creator's unity and Maker's dominicality uttered by each of the beings in the world in its particular tongue. And I really wanted to focus on the word understand. So what does understand really mean? So when I defined it, I defined it as you're taking the time to see, and then you're analyzing and questioning, and then eventually you're gonna appreciate. But the key word here would be taking the time to see. I feel like it requires a certain capacity within me to actually see things. If my mind is busy with, what am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to do tomorrow? Who am I going to call to hang out with tonight? And this is all I'm thinking about. I mean, it's okay to think about it, but if it's all what I think about, and if I give it so much value, and if I give it so much emphasis, and I give it meaning, I won't have any capacity to see anything else. So that's sort of like work I feel like I always need to do, which is to recognize what am I giving value to or meaning to. And then once you have that capacity, then you can actually analyze what you're looking at, and then you can wonder about it or question it. And then finally, you can appreciate it. And then if we move on to seeing that, okay, here it's saying to understand the words concerning the creator's unity and maker's dominicality uttered by each of the beings in the world. So again, I felt like, okay, as a reminder, I need to remember that I'm connected to everything in creation. So each being is of my concern. So if I've never actually stood to understand the tree or stood to even understand my hands, then I'm not really building that connection, or I'm not cultivating that connection that's between me and the created things or created beings. And then I felt like, okay, well, what's dominicality here? It translates into rububiyya, and I felt like when I think of the word rububiyya, I feel like I imagine that there's this invisible shield around me that is sort of controlled by only one Lord. And it's protecting, it's taking care, it's moving me, it's communicating to me. It's like I'm only controlled by that Rob. And when I feel like the word Rob is so powerful that you can't associate anything else with it. Like you can't have two Robs. It has to be one. Because of its absolute power. Anything here? Any questions here, or any different understanding of the word rububiyya here? Okay. And then, so why does it matter to like understand and try to analyze things around me or things within me? Finally, because I'm given a sense of appreciation. And I think appreciation is a human quality that if you don't use it, you just don't know it. It's either you use it or you don't. So then when you start to use it, what's the point of using it really? And I feel like the eighth aim is pointing at the idea that it can be used to know two things. One, that others are appreciating, right? That other beings in the world are appreciating. And then finally, that there is one who is worthy of appreciation. So to put it all together, it's like you're taking the time to see and understand. And in seeing, you're really using a human quality. And finally, when you arrive at appreciating, you're also using a human quality that reflects to you who your Lord is. So you're using this ability to see to know who your Lord is. And that finally you can say, well, yes, my Lord is worthy of appreciation with full confidence. Yeah. All right, moving on, unless someone stops me. Moving on, now we have the ninth aim of life. So the ninth says to understand, again, I feel like the word understand is so important. Through your impotence and weakness, your poverty and need, the degrees of the divine power and dominical riches. Just as the pleasure and the degrees and varieties of food are understood through the degrees of hunger and sorts of need, so you should understand the degrees of the infinite divine power and riches through your infinite impotence and poverty. The aims of your life then briefly are matters like this. So before we move on, so here it's suggesting, okay, now pay attention to how weak you are, and pay attention to how poor you are, and pay attention to how impotent you are. And to be honest, when we say things like that, we might not feel comfortable about it. Like, I don't want to confront how poor I am and how weak I am, because I'm not sure where this comes from. I'll call it a false desire. Like, there's this false desire of like wanting to seem not poor, not impotent, not weak. But here is suggesting, no, pay attention to it. In fact, the more you know of it, the more you know the degrees of the divine power. So sort of like, to conclude it, it's kind of, we're saying, so the partial points to the absolute and the need points to infinity. Okay, Brother Ali, do you want to go before I continue? Go ahead.
Now I'm very pleased to hear that also you are making the comparison between human capacity, if you like, what we are given, and also yeah, you blue, in blue you wrote it. I have to be very careful about making this comparison. The 7th and the 8th were using human capacities within himself, etc. Now, in other, of course, human beings are being the criterion of the qualities of the creator. We call it goddess Sifat or Esma. But here in this section now we are studying, we have to be careful when we say our knowledge is limited, our power is limited. It means just a little bit, as you pointed out in your notes. It was excellent, actually. I mean, can we see your note? It's a beautiful note, actually, this one. No, this, where the comparison you were making 101%, 0%, what is that? Where was it? Yeah, this one. When I say my knowledge is limited, I have to be careful with this language. Yes, I have been given the ability to learn, but this is the portion given to me. This is the portion given to me. And as far as the source of existence of this portion, knowledge, power, whatever, memory, the source of existence of this portion is concerned, we must make the comparison there. Of course, I have to experience what it means to know. I have to experience this. When I experience, I understand that something attracts my attention. Get this hand down. When I experience, I understand that I have to go through a stages of reflection, thinking, such as, for example, yes, I am thinking now. I can do something, as earlier on studied. I can do something. Using this ability as a criterion to understand that I have to think about this criterion and look at the universe, if you like, come to a wrong conclusion, but it is a good step. What does it mean, come to a wrong conclusion? I will explain it. Come to a wrong conclusion means, as I made my house, the example said, the universe is endlessly perfect than my house. Who made it? Criterion is used in this way. Taking for granted that the ability to make the house belongs to me. That is why, from one aspect, it is a necessary mistake. We have to do it. At this stage, I can say, look, I have power to do something, to make a house. But essentially, not I have been given. Because I cannot have it. I cannot declare the ownership over it. I am just given the permission to use it. It is given to me. So in order to be able to get out of the obstacle of this mistake, we have to go into or get engaged into another stage of reflection. If I conclude that as a human being, which is rationally consistent, as I made the house, the universe needs a maker. As I know how to make the things, the one who made the universe should know, because everything looks perfect. But without knowledge, you cannot really explain the existence. Without wisdom, etc., etc. You cannot really explain the existence. Now, coming to the conclusion of acknowledgement the creator, this necessary mistake, which we learn through our mistakes. That is human nature. That's how we are created. We have to make a mistake and then analyze it further and get rid of this mistake. Now, after realizing that the universe must have a creator, which kind of creator is he? When we start investigating which kind of creator he is, that is what needs to be done. If we don't start investigating who the creator is, if we don't do that, then we will be in trouble. How? Like everybody else, majority of the people believe in God. But what they say, we have limited knowledge, limited power. But we have. That is if you like, really important mistake. That is why they don't this is the result. To say that we have a limited knowledge, limited power, to say this and stay there, that is what the people usually do. And it is the result of the people who don't really investigate. If there must be a creator, which kind of creator is he? They don't go into the details. And we, the students of the Quran, should question this, which kind of God he is, the creator he is. How can I get to know him really better? The Quran is full of description of God's qualities, full of, everywhere. The unique feature of the Quran is to introduce God, who he is. Whereas in other philosophical studies, religious sources, other scriptures, Torah, etc., Bible, or whatever the other Eastern European religious traditions, Buddhism, Hinduism have the Vedas or Bhagavad Gita or other scriptures of Confucianism, etc. These people believe in God, but they don't investigate who God is. They say there must be a creator. There must be a creator. And I am afraid that it is becoming more and more simplistic, a way of understanding God among the Muslims because of our laziness, because of not really studying the Quran and paying attention to what his central teaching is. We just say the same language as other people say. Yeah, the creator is great, it's a God Almighty. It's famous, especially monotheistic religions use this, God Almighty. Yeah, but we have a little bit. But the problem lies there a little bit. Now, this is the problem. It is very difficult for any human being, even those people who claim that they don't believe in God at all. We can try to explain, those scientists explain the universe within itself. We don't have to go outside any theology, any creator in order to benefit from the universe. Actually, don't misunderstand me, this is correct. If your aim is only exploiting the universe and the things here and benefiting from it for your bodily needs, yeah, you don't need God. Universe teaches you, it's not much, gradually, of course, the creator allows you to learn something. So they benefit from it, investigate. They made some technology and make lots of money out of it, etc. But their humanity suffers from meaninglessness, purposelessness. That is their problem, but they don't acknowledge it because they deny humanity. They reduce human being to material being, happen to be somehow alive, and it is growing by itself. And it developed in such a way that I can think as the accident. That is, even these people cannot deny that there must be something who gave existence to this universe, because they cannot explain the source of existence. Just take the existence for granted and study it onwards. We have to be careful about it. We shouldn't be like that as well. Here, the universe has a creator. They don't say has a creator, but whether you say the universe has a creator, but I am living my life, or if somebody says universe doesn't have a creator, but I am living my life. At the end of the day, what we do the same thing in the world. One of them has God created this, the other one says it's happening by itself. But as far as my life is concerned, I continue as I found myself in the world. But I acknowledge that my knowledge is limited. Yes, that's why I have to try to improve it. My power is limited. That's why I have to make engines and motors and to become more powerful. That's what the struggle is for these people who don't believe in God or who don't really know who God is. But the students of the Quran, if they follow the same way, it is a shame on us. And saying that I have limited knowledge and compare God's knowledge. As you said here, my knowledge is 1%, 99% of the knowledge belongs to God. So leave it to God, and I am satisfied with mine. I have to deal with mine. No, it is given to you what the author is struggling to teach us. Everything is given to your potentialities, your key like feelings, all of them. Now, your powerlessness, weakness, not being able to create anything, not really owning anything belonging to yourself, but all given, all given, all given. If you don't recognize this, then you have to keep saying, our limited knowledge, we don't know any a little bit. We know a little bit. Of course, we know a little bit, so that through this ability, I will understand that all knowledge belongs to Creator, and my knowledge, this is the key point. My knowledge, it does not belong to me, it is given to me. My feelings don't belong to me, they are given to me. So when I do some good actions, good things, I cannot take pride of them because they don't belong to me. That is what the Quran is teaching us. A complete submission to God. Not only believing that there is a God, there must be a God. I believe in God. No, total submission to God. When I learn something, I wouldn't say, I learned something. That is what, this much I know, a little compared to God's knowledge, but still, this is my portion. Look at the arrogance. We have to, Quran says, submit yourself completely, which is really true, because if we really think about it, that the creator of the universe must be the owner of everything, including my power to learn, my power to know, my power to do good actions, my power to make the distinction between right and wrong. That's why we say, I mean, as a rhetoric, we say, Alhamdulillah, we are blessed with Iman, but I am a good believer. I have to be conscious that when I say Alhamdulillah, it means this Iman, this conviction, this submission to God, ability to submit, ability to believe, are all God's blessings on me. I have no claim at all or anything I do, but I have to perform it. That's it. I have to function. I shouldn't contradict my reality the way that I'm created. That is why the author is trying to teach us, hey, be careful, be careful, be careful. You have to understand that through your weakness, absolute weakness, you will understand absoluteness of God. That's why people keep asking this question, how can I know about God? The author gives us a very simple solution. You can know about God through knowing yourself. So, because we cannot comprehend absolute. But if we really use the ability given to us by God, I am given the ability from my creator, by my creator, ability to make the comparison. I am making the comparison. This is a gift to me. I understand that I didn't create myself. My particles of my life cannot create me. I cannot happen to be accidentally like this. I understood this. This is what my God enabled me, how my God enabled me to understand. If everything belongs to him, including myself, with no exception, it means he must be the absolute one. He is not the 99% of the quality, the owner of the 99% of the qualities, 100% of the qualities that I am experiencing, I am seeing in the universe. We all belong to God. All universe, all parts of the universe. How? Otherwise, I cannot explain how I exist. I cannot explain if I don't attribute my existence, my qualities to the one who created creates the universe and creates me right now continuously. Sorry for a long talk. I am sorry.
Thank you. I think I'll move on unless someone wants to add anything. Okay. So now consider the nature of your life. Its summary is this. It is an index of wonders pertaining to the divine names, a scale for measuring the divine attributes, a balance of the worlds within the universe, a list of the mighty map, a list of the mighty world, a map of the cosmos, a summary of the vast book of the universe, a bunch of keys with which to open the hidden treasuries of divine power, and a most excellent pattern of the perfections scattered over beings and attached to time. The nature of your life consists of matters like these. So I think the first word we can focus on is it's an index of wonders pertaining to the divine names. And I think what Brother Ali was just talking about helps us arrive at this conclusion that the real question is who my Lord is. And an index, if you ever see an index in a book, it's usually like the titles of things you will find in the entire book. So here the author is suggesting, well, to think of the nature of your life in this way, that it is just an index, not just, but it is an index of wonders pertaining to the divine names. It's almost, it's what whatever you're experiencing here, it's only pointing to the full book, if we can use the analogy. And then he continues to say, sorry, did someone unmute or no? No, okay. And then he continues to say a scale for measuring the divine attributes and a balance of the worlds within the universe, a list of the mighty world, a map of the cosmos, and a summary of the vast book of the universe. It's interesting to see how he's continuously using like an index, a scale, a list, a balance. It's almost like similar to the idea of you're getting the taste of something, but you're not seeing everything yet. But it's not in any way less important. And then finally, a bunch of keys with which to open the hidden treasuries of divine power. So I think we would need to like sort of look at the word hidden for a moment. So what does hidden really mean? So normally when you think of something hidden, you can't see it, and it's always something you'll never see. But one way to define it is that nothing in this world can represent this is wrong what I wrote. I'm sorry, I'm just realizing a mistake. Nothing in this. So basically nothing in this world can be used to be like, okay, this is him. He's not hiding, but to know him, I need to use the keys to sort of be able to see or to understand the creator. I think I actually need help here to
No,
understand.
just
Yeah.
very, very simple.
Yeah.
Let's read your sentence and I will add one word and it will solve the problem.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hidden means, inshallah, inshallah. Nothing in this word can represent / used to understand the nature of him. Nature impossible, but existence of him, yes, definitely necessary. With the opposite, none of the nature, 0% nature, 100% his existence. That contrast is very interesting, actually. It's a very interesting paragraph we are studying. Please, sorry for, excuse me for my interruption.
No, it's okay. It was needed. I was starting to feel worried. I know there was something wrong here. Oh, can you put the paragraph and notes together? Of course. Let me try to do that. Does that work? Or maybe I can just like, there you go, here. Sorry, I see something in the chat box. Yes, thank you. Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, so that would be the definition, at least one understanding of the word hidden. Because it's that this way, this definition will help us again pursue to know the creator, to know of the qualities of the creator and to read the things around us in order to know the divine names. Well, how can I know of these hidden treasuries? The suggestion is it's a bunch of keys. Your life is a bunch of keys that you can use. And then one way to sort of understand this concept of keys, we all experience feelings and we all can learn to reason. And reasoning, you can arrive at the conclusion that yes, there must be a creator, but that's not enough. We'll need to take a step further in using our feelings, because feelings are very personal, and whatever you're feeling, you can say, well, it must be my creator who's communicating to me through my feelings right now. So reason, like we all can collectively say at one point, okay, a lot of people can confirm to that there must be a creator. But if we leave it there, then we're not utilizing all the keys. The other set of keys would be my own feelings as a way to communicate with my creator, or as a way to receive communication from my creator. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Ali.
Beautiful notes. What I found that, how to summarize this matter, use the key. Key is not of the same nature of what the treasurer has and the treasury has, but different. Treasury has diamonds, key is a piece of metal and nothing to do with diamond. But without using this key, I cannot open the treasure. Treasure means the qualities of the creator. That's what treasure is, of divine power, divine qualities, creator's qualities. So we have to know that, yes, I know something, but my knowledge is dependent and I cannot really be the source of the existence of this knowledge, and I know that I am given and I'm going to be it is going to be taken away from my existence. When I die, this disappears from this world, or my knowledge with me. My brain gets rotten. I know that. It cannot be the source of that much knowledge even, but this is the ability given to me like a measure. Now, come to the example of measure. For example, let's say I am measuring the length, one of the qualities of the wall. A simple example is the length, okay? What do? I take a piece of metal, measurement, or plastic piece, let's say 1 yard. What do? How can I know how long the length of this wall? Okay, 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 times, multiply, and then find out it. But has the measure have anything to do with the wall, nature of the wall? No, one of them is plastic, the other one is wall. But that is how the universe is, this mystery, if you like. It is created in such a way that I can use my measure in order to understand the qualities of something who is the real owner of this universe, who is not accessible, whose nature, whose essence is not accessible to me, but through the measure I have been given, I conclude definitely there must be such a being. His existence must be. Do I know his nature? Not at all. But can I know his qualities? Yeah, by using my measure. But my measure has nothing to do with his qualities. My measure is created, needy, dependent to exist, cannot exist by itself. Only if it is given existence, it exists. So use just to oppose it, because I am zero, but there is a such concept of knowledge, for example. You see, the universe says, my creator must have knowledge. How do I know? I am using my measure, which is ability given to me to know. So we must be very clear about it. We shouldn't confuse. My knowledge and God's knowledge is not the same nature. One of them is, mine is, as far as the existence side of it is concerned, has no source in this universe to come into existence. But it is given. By whom? By the one who created the universe. Who is he? Who has a genuine, original, self-existent, absolute. Why? Mine is zero. And all the creatures have some sort of knowledge, manifest some quality of knowledge, but none of them can own it. It means every kind of manifestation of knowledge that I can measure, only measure that they exist, belongs to the one who created the universe. That is why, although I don't know the nature of absoluteness, but my measurement tells me that he must be an absolute infinite. He must have infinite qualities. He must have the quality not like me, created, dependent, and temporary, given and taken. His quality must be permanent, self-existing, self-sustaining, not dependent. Absolutely, it must be. That is how we say belief is must be. Belief is must be. It means I'm convinced there must be such a being. This being must have such qualities. All these processes going on through our units of measurement, through our keys, but neither key nor the units of measurement, nor the index, anything scaled, all the words is here used. A map, for example, map has nothing to do with the real world. But because of the brown color, we say, there must be a mountain here. How do you know? Map says. But map is a paper, a color. And then there is a blue line going down, with a crooked way. There must be a river here. The thickness of the blue, it must be a big river. What is it to do with river? Nothing. But if there was no blue line there, I would never ever know that the river exists. That is why believe in the existence of the qualities of the Creator. Not knowing that he is not here today, I know why. One of our brothers keeps asking, how do we know that God is absolute? He bothers him. He bothers him. I say, look, you keep asking this question, man. That's correct. Because you feel that you should know the absolute. No, you have to conclude that the Creator must be self-existing and absolutely existing. All his qualities must have the same qualities, same character. It means absolute knowledge, absolute power, absolute wisdom, limitless, not dependent, etc. Infinite. This must be belief in ghaib. In the Quran means this. I cannot really know the nature, but I am confident, perfectly satisfied with its existence. That's why we believe the universe must have a creator who must have absolute qualities. Everything must belong to him. That's why Quran uses, I keep repeating this word because it is always misunderstood. We are inclined, because of our faith, for any reason, the Quran is correct, Allah's word, so we are inclined to imitate Quran. We have to be very careful. We cannot imitate Quran. Quran is God's word, absolute knowledge. We can learn from it. God says, I am all powerful. Correct? What am I going to say? Not God is all powerful. I must say, I must use the language. I investigated here. God must be all powerful, absolutely powerful. So Quran says, I am all powerful, almighty. Of course, God, it is God's right to say I am absolutely all powerful. It is my right to acknowledge it and say that God must be absolutely all powerful. That is belief. If I keep saying God is all powerful, it is knowledge. Not belief, knowledge. Do you understand? Oh, I know. How do you know? The Quran says so. It is not information knowledge. It is just information knowledge obtained from the God, from the Quran. And because of our faith in the Quran, we just repeat what the Quran says. But the Quran must be confirmed that this is God's word. So in order to confirm, we have to have evidence. We have to experience the word. We have to use our keys, maps, measures in order to come to reach this conclusion. This is called the process of Iman. Iman cannot be imitative Iman, cannot be imitated. Imitation is not Iman. Imitation is imitation, transferring the information. If you tell me God is one, I say, okay, in bracket, Radwa said, hey, God is one. That's transferring the information. So this is hard for the Muslims who have not confirmed their belief, but imitated it, to use this language. You said, no, I cannot say God is all powerful. I must say, you must be all powerful. God must be all powerful. But confirming the Quranic information or Quranic message to me is only possible through my using the evidence either in the universe or within myself, as the Quran says. Outside of your being and within your being, we have signs, yeah, in order to confirm that we are the owner of the universe. It means God, the universe has an owner of the universe, and we must submit our existence totally to him. Yeah, but except that I cannot exist, but he gave me the existence. Because there is no source of existence other than the one who created the universe. Cannot be. Inshallah, this is the firm knowledge. Inshallah, that is my understanding of what belief is, apart from knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions here or reflections? Okay. I feel like we should stop here, actually, because I feel like the next section should be studied all together. Would you guys agree?
So the question, did you say you have a question? Am I?
Me, no, I'm saying I think we should stop here. Because the next section, I feel like it should be read all together.
Okay. Do you have any, did you say question or did you have just a suggestion? I was waiting for you to present your question if you have.
I don't have any questions,
Okay.
no.
Suggestion. I misunderstood, so sorry.
That's okay.
Our friends, what do they say?
Not quite sure.
Okay, we can stop.
Okay. Sounds good. Somebody else is saying sounds good. Okay. Do you mind closing with a dua, Brother Ali?
I was expecting you to do that.
I'm sorry.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. This verse also, look, سبحانك لا علم لنا. As the angels say, we have no knowledge, but إلا Ma allemtena. Senin bize I'm sorry, I've started speaking another language. Except what you have taught us. All the knowledge we have is from you, nothing beyond what you have given us, we can have any knowledge. So you are the owner of everything. That is what the declaration of the angels describe it in the Quran. It means if angels say so, I have to definitely say the same thing. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen bi hurmati sirri surati